This shit ain't nothing to me, man.
This is Boxing Before Dark.
Boxing.
Boxing. Boxing.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang.
Before.
Boxing.
Boxing Before
Dark. This is Boxing
Before Dark.
All right. Fucking Boxing Before Dark. We are back up in your ears. Joined by Shanada and Lynn once again. Shanada, you're all over the fucking Lux Media, I don't know, radar at the moment.
Yeah, I got the 10 top 10 lists started to celebrate our 100 episodes. I'm excited.
I also got, I figured out one that I want to do, but I can't do it because it's packed up at the moment. But I was going to look through all of my press passes and say, like, my top 10 of all the shows I've been to.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Well, if we release 2 a week, you have 5 weeks. So,
yeah.
Like, one here on Before Dark and one on B-Sides every week, theoretically.
I think that'll work.
Hopefully. Anyways, the first one's a YouTube playlist. So when Leo gets it up, you can check it out on the YouTube channel.
Oh, Lynn, how are the playoffs going?
Well, as of last night, at the time of recording, we blew a 3-0 series lead, and now the series is tied at 2, and we're going back to Edmonton, so that's great. Yeah. Good.
Fucking awesome is what it is.
No, it's not awesome. It's only awesome if you're like Canadian or something.
Or you just don't like Brad Marchand.
It's just funny because like I follow like online communities, and like after the game you just see everyone hates the Panthers, and it's just funny.
Yeah, well.
I
mean, you shouldn't have hockey in Florida, and why are they in the Northeast Division? But
what? The Northeast Division hasn't existed for God knows how long.
Well, whatever they call the Northeast Division now.
Sure.
They're in the same division as Toronto.
Yeah, the Atlantic.
Is that what it is now, the Atlantic Division?
Yeah. You got the Atlantic and Metropolitan out east, and then in the west you've got the Pacific and Central.
Where's Utah?
Utah is in the Central.
Central.
Fun.
Yeah.
They didn't move them.
Yeah.
They're in the same conference they've always been in.
Oh, okay. I see.
That's why Florida's in the Northeast too. That's why they renamed the conferences, was so they didn't have to move Florida. It's all stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't make... I don't get it, but it's alright. Oh, shit. Is there any news that's come up? Because I didn't check.
There's one piece of news I'm avoiding.
Well, what piece of news would that be?
That would be the recent announcement that the WBO. I think this came out like a day or two. I think this was like literally yesterday as of the time. Obviously, we had the whole Keyshawn thing. Now apparently the WBO is going to order Sam Noakes v. Abdullah Mesa for the belt, which I am avoiding, and I am pretending if it's not real, it doesn't exist. So, just gonna swiftly ignore that.
Yeah, I have not heard any news, I don't think. They had the robot kickboxing world championship recently. I don't know if you covered that on Ultimate Fucking Casual, but it's hilarious.
That does sound pretty fun.
Yeah, you should check it out. You have to build humanoid robots, and then they have a kickboxing fight. And it's a lot of robots just falling over and getting counted out.
Jerron Ennis is moving up.
Oh.
Up to 147?
154.
154.
Yep.
Who's at 154 right now?
Fedora,
Names.
Tim Zhu.
Josh
Ah.
Kelly. Does that count? That doesn't count.
Kind of. I think it kind of counts.
Who even is like?
Keith
Let me drag
Thurman.
this out. Yeah, well, we've definitely got names at that weight class. Of varying quality.
Hold on a second. I want to pull up.
Boots can probably hang with any of those guys, I think.
Terrence Crawford, Mortazaliev, the guy who beat Tim Zhu, Virgil Ortiz, Xander Zayas, Madrimov, Bohachuk, Fundora, Jesus Ramos.
There's a lot of Eastern European guys I'm seeing.
Luisma Lima. Charles
So then who's at 147?
Who's at 47?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just mixing up weight classes like I always do. Rolly Romero's at 147.
Yeah.
So did Rolly get elevated to a full belt? If Gerard's moving up?
Once it's formal, then yes, probably will be.
Nice. Two-time world champion.
Raleigh is the fucking welterweight champion right now.
But he will be.
Yeah.
You can't tell me I'm wrong.
No, he'll be an email champ.
It's fucking stupid, but own it, I guess.
We love email champions.
Welterweight's got that fight in Ota City this
Yes.
week, right?
That's right.
Yeah. It's on a Thursday, so I didn't buy a ticket because it's just that little bit too far away. It ruins my whole next morning.
What other news? Oscar De La Hoya's clapback. He's talking about Reynoso and how he's had 6 fighters test positive for banned substances.
That's old news. We've talked about that here.
We have. Catch up, De La Hoya.
I was going to say, Oscar's taking our talking points.
Catch up.
That's kind of not surprising that Oscar would point that out, but it's going to reach a lot more people if Oscar says it than, like, the boxing media.
Yeah, definitely.
Have they said anything about Jaime? Like,
I
if
haven't seen
the-
anything
no, I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I
either.
haven't either.
about his B sample.
I would. Yeah, I on that, like, I probably just guessed there's like a bunch of like underground stuff going on right now.
Speaking of not hearing anything, I haven't heard any updates on Shigeoka.
I'm gonna take it as no news is good news. Like if he was taking a turn for the worse, I think we would have heard about it at this point.
Oh, actually, there is an update on the sporting news. So this went up June 4th. So Yudai, his brother, described his current state, saying, starting today, Jinjiro's eyes are half open because they've reduced his painkillers. He means anesthesia. And when I talked to him, he started chewing and yawning, and it felt like he could hear me. He was also blinking. I think things will probably start to become a little more clear from now on, and he will likely be transferred from the ICU to general care soon. So, that sounds reasonably good.
Yeah, not out of the woods, but doing better.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know how much damage there is.
Well, let's go on.
No, I was gonna say let's hit the recaps.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Look at that. First one, June 6th, Wasserman.
Yes.
Uh,
This. So, obviously, we had Josh Kelly versus Fabio. Not much to discuss on the undercard, because the fights, well, I didn't watch them because it was like lower level stuff and there wasn't anyone I've known. I watched a couple though. Josh Kelly had also kind of been on the smoke. Like I've seen him a lot calling out like Conor Ben. Like firstly, you're not getting a Conor Ben fight. Just stop. And then yeah, so this fight ended in a first round stoppage win for Josh Kelly. If I recall correctly, Bia kind of got dropped like early, and then he kind of like got up, but he got up at like 9.5 and got counted out. So it was kind of weird. Kelly wins a pointless fight in about 2 minutes. I'm pretty sure Nesse on Twitter put out something afterwards, like calling out Mukhtarziev or something like that, if I recall correctly. I want to check that, but I know for a fact that he said like Kelly should fight someone.
Fight for a title, sounds like.
Yeah, I gotta check the Twitter because I swear I saw that.
Yeah, Bakram holds the IBF right now, so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what got tweeted, but maybe I'm just losing that, I don't know.
Nah, I don't think so. That sounds like something that would happen after a really flashy kind of win like this.
Yeah, this was it. So the Kelly and Nisse Sauerland Twitter account, which is banned by them, but no one in the UK wants a piece of Josh Kelly. Gonna go get a strap at Bakram 95, fancy it. I've just seen here, Bakram actually just replied to that saying too easy. So, I mean, he's not wrong.
Josh Kelly is ranked number 4 in the IBF.
I don't know how he hasn't done anything. His best win is like a short notice Ishmael Davies. And like, go ask any American who that is, and they probably won't know.
No, he's also number 4 at the IBF or the WBO. So
he's got
somebody's
options.
paying to get him ranked. Yeah.
I mean, sure. I mean, we already saw what happens when he steps up against Avanesian, so. Yeah.
When was that the Avanesian fight?
Oh god, that was years ago now, but he hasn't. I can put up exactly. But he hasn't exactly done much to sit. It was 2021. He got stopped in 6 rounds, and since then his only real his best win is literally a short notice Ishmael Davies.
2021. That's Avanesian was past his better days at that point.
Yep.
Oh well.
But yeah, Kelly won. Undercard, there wasn't much. Very standard Channel 5 card in that regard. So we'll see what Kelly does. He'll probably fight some nobody again in about 6 months. We'll see.
He should be more active. If he wants to be, if he's gonna be fighting fucking nobodies, then he should be doing it a bit more often.
I mean, this was his first fight since the Davis win, so we'll see.
Sad times.
Aye.
It's BritBox.
Yeah. Speaking of sad, Salida on DAZN. Brandon Moore gets the doctor's decision, or technical decision. I think Stanley Wright didn't want to continue. My man was like on life support pretty much towards the end there, so I guess that's how it goes sometimes.
Stanley Wright already has his next fight listed on BoxRec.
He's a journeyman.
Yeah, but it's for June 26th. That's like 2 weeks.
Nice turnaround.
So perhaps he just didn't want to take too much punishment because he has his next fight in. I don't know what country that is. That is the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and it's also June 2026. It's a card I've seen a couple of fights announced for, but I have no idea what it is. I did not expect it to be a year from now. Never mind. Yeah, I don't know what this card's about, but I've seen some people get added to it, so I don't know. But yeah.
say.
Never mind. That is me being unable to read, I guess.
Yeah, it's scheduled for a year from now. There must be like a festival or something.
Maybe.
Yeah, I honestly just didn't read the year because I didn't expect it to be that far in the
I wouldn't
future.
either. But that's it for that. Matchroom on DAZN. Jai Opataya gets the fucking stoppage in 5. Squeo did not seem too interested in being there. He didn't seem like he belonged there.
Did you hear what happened though? Like Squeo broke his jaw.
Yeah.
It snapped. He had to go get surgery.
Squeo's jaw broke?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Joe Opataya broke Squeo's jaw. So whether he seemed very interested in being there or not, I think it was a good call to stop.
Yes. Knowing that. I had heard that it was possibly broken, but I didn't hear if it actually was.
No, it was.
Yeah.
I saw a thing. Yeah.
But Squeo looked like a discount Canelo. He just didn't look like he belonged in the ring with Opatai at all.
No.
He was too short and too slow, and I mean, we kind of thought that's what it would be, but
Yeah, like, oh my god, Opataya wins a one-sided fight and gets a stoppage against a dude like everyone was saying he was going to stop in what was literally one of the worst mismatches we've ever seen. I am so utterly shocked that is exactly how the fight went.
Yeah. I think that's a nice little bow to put on it. What a shock.
Opatai needs to start fighting real competition.
Thank you. I keep saying this. Like, I'm sorry that I'm not impressed by a dude who, outside of beating Breeders twice, his best win is like Jack Massey, who's like not even like a top 3 cruiserweight in the UK at the time that they fought. Because you had, actually, well, I guess Cody already got up to welterweight and heavyweight at that point. But like, he wasn't even the best cruiserweight in the UK. But sure. Like,
Yeah, Cruiser sucks anyways, but knocking over cans, especially such obvious cans, is not gonna get you any fans. Like,
I mean, at least Zerdo's fighting a dude like Dorticus, who I guess has shown some level of ability at some point in his career. Like, no, like 99.9% of boxing fans have never even seen Skio box, let alone like know if he's good.
I didn't know he
Well,
existed.
he'd
Legit.
never fought outside of Italy. How would you know he existed?
Yep.
I know
He
who
also
Ivan
came into
Zuko
this
is.
fight. Yeah, I mean,
I guess.
Skio came into this fight at 191, so maybe he should try and move down to light heavyweight. I don't know.
Probably is a light heavyweight that got dragged up.
I mean, he's a
I think he
5'10" cruiserweight. He's not exactly the biggest.
He didn't look dumpy or anything. He looked like he was in shape.
Yeah.
I think he just doesn't do a cut at all.
Didn't need to.
No, but I just mean, I think he likes not cutting and fighting in Italy.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a little more time than Jai Opataya deserves for a fight of this caliber.
Yeah. He needs to fight Zerdo.
It's really all there is. I guess
It's the only thing anyone wants to see.
Maybe Badu Jack. Rest in peace, because he's gonna die in that one.
We say that every time, and somehow Badu Jack gets an ugly close decision win. Every fucking time.
Imagine Badu Jack decisions Jai Opataya.
Oh,
I could see it.
absolute scenes.
I would actually like that.
Right. Next on the hit.
All right, moving to
Queensbury.
Queensbury.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I would like for you to prognosticate first, Lynn.
Yes.
Because we were on opposing sides of this, and this played out. This played out in a very interesting way. So I'd like for you to kick it off.
So basically, now when I said Wardley would knock out Hooney, I never said he'd look good doing it. I just said he'd knock him out. It's completely different.
Fair enough.
This fight was like very interesting. So like, what basically happened is Fabio Wardley decided that he was going to turn into Deontay Wilder and just like literally get outboxed for 10 rounds straight, and then just decide to randomly knock the guy out. I mean, it's very simple. Like, Eustace Hooney actually very much impressed me in this fight. Like, I legitimately feel like if Eustace Hooney wasn't Eustace Hooney and actually had any sort of power, he probably would have stopped Wardley in the first half of this fight. Because he was literally just beating him up, like, the entire fight. But, like, Fabio Wardley's got power, and it was in the UK, so somehow he gets the stoppage. I literally turned this fight off after 8 rounds, because I was like, oh, it's done, Hooney's gonna win. And I was, like, pissed off, because I was, like, annoyed at Ben Davison, which is a usual event in British boxing. Yeah. And then, like, I saw a chat going on, so I brought the stream back up, and that's when I saw that he got the stoppage. So I was like, how the fuck has he done that?
It was a nice punch. It was a really nice setup.
Yeah. Yeah, he came over the top with the right hand.
It is something they were training in camp. Like, there's footage of them training that exact punch.
I mean, it wasn't entirely how they were training for the other 10 rounds of the fight, but yeah.
They were training to land that punch. It's not a good strategy, but it's a strategy people employ.
Yes, the Deontay Wilder strategy. Just train a big right hand, and you'll be successful if you have sufficient power.
They did work on his defense, as in, this is how you take a punch and stay in range. Like, to try and limit how much shit Wardley actually had to eat. But Wardley has a chin, and he was relying on that. That was half his fucking
The only
strap.
thing I'll say, yes, he has a good chin, but this is also Eustace Hooney, who never was a massive puncher at heavyweight anyway. So I don't know how much you can really say about his chin based off the fact that he took shots of Eustace Hooney.
No, I just mean historically.
Yeah.
Fabio Wardley has a good chin.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, will he still have a good chin when he goes up for the levels and he starts fighting guys who have more power and a better ability to deliver that power? We'll see.
No, I'm just saying, in this fight, part of their strategy was lean on the fact that he has enough chin to take Justice Hooney's punches. And then wait for the timing on that one big right hand. It's a stupid strategy, but it worked.
If it's
we'll
stupid,
see if
but
it continues to work forward.
Yeah, we'll see if that continues to happen, but if it's stupid, but it works, then it's not stupid. That's one of the... It's an old adage I got from my military years.
Yeah, for like jerry-rigging stuff, but I don't know. In a fight, you can win and still lose. But...
I
don't know, it was
wonder...
exciting. It was fun. I liked it. But I don't really care about either of these fighters, so...
I wonder
yeah.
Fabio Wardley continued the way he did because he wasn't too concerned. And that's why his defense was so fucking leaky.
No,
I think
Wardley...
his defense is always gonna be leaky.
Yeah. Wardley, like, I found it really funny when I saw this fight. People were saying, "Oh my god, Wardley got exposed," and it's like, did you watch Clark 1? Like, if you watched Clark 1, you knew for a fact that Wardley didn't have a good defense, and he probably was never gonna have a good defense. Like, I'm pretty sure Clark busted up his nose with the jab after about 3 rounds in that fight.
That was disgusting. Wardley's nose just disappeared throughout that fight.
If you want to go watch the definition of a heavyweight slogfest, go look up Clark versus Wardley 1.
Yeah, that was Clobberfest. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's keep it moving here. Boxer on Sky Sports.
Yes. Now, I haven't actually watched this card back. I need to at some point. I kind of been doing stuff. I do know that the Simpson fight. Well, I do know that this card it's basically Sky Boxer's funeral. Because after this, I think it was after like a day or two after this, it came out that Sky is not renewing their contract with Boxer, and they're gonna basically look to take a bunch of different they're gonna like rotate what promoters they do their shows with. So I'm not sure what happens with Boxer now. Knowing the state of boxing, they'll somehow end up on DAZN.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, that's how it'll go. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to pay a lot of money a month to watch the rebuild of Mark Jeffers after he lost to a dude that William Skull was able to beat and drop, by the way. Like, how? Like, I remember seeing that fight, like Hemphill 1. I was like, how the fuck have you lost? And then the main event, Simpson actually got dropped twice in this fight. Because I was kind of watching bits of this before the Wardley fight came on, because it was like on in between. I think I managed to watch like the first 2 or 3 rounds. He got dropped like twice, but he wasn't really that hurt. Came back, put his opponent down a couple of times in the 10th and got it done in the 10th and won via a technical knockout. So I had to come through some adversity here. But I didn't watch the fight, so I'd have to look it back to give a more comprehensive breakdown.
The Simpson-Zuko fight was actually really enjoyable. It was really even and competitive throughout the entirety of it.
Well, yeah, we were saying how if Zuko's record isn't a complete lie, he could have some issues with Simpson. I mean, he came and dropped him twice, so I mean,
Yeah.
you can't ask for much more, really.
The first knockdown was a flash one for sure. Like, I think it
Yeah,
was
he
just...
didn't look hurt at all from that. Like
Yeah.
a couple of seconds in.
Yeah, he was just, I think, some jitters about the gravity of the moment. But he rallied back perfectly. Even to get knocked down again, he still was able to keep it going, keep the momentum building. It was really nice from Simpson.
But now if you're at 168 and you're looking at this fight and you're going, oh, well, Zuko can drop this guy twice, what can I do to him? So we'll see what they... Well, firstly, before anything, we're going to figure out what the hell Boxer's doing. Because they're not going to be on Sky anymore. So not entirely. Like, I mean, their only real option I can see in the UK would be they either go to TNT to replace the spot that Queensbury left, but I don't know if TNT is still doing boxing after that, or they end up on DAZN somehow. So we'll see.
I wouldn't be upset if they ended up on DAZN, just because I keep track of the Boxer cards all the time for B-sides and for here, so if it's somewhere that's accessible, that would be nice.
Yeah, I don't know, we'll see, but yeah, they also, I think they showed like their accounts and like they took a lot of losses when it comes to like their financial statements as well. Like they're like in kind of like profit margins and shit that were tanked. So we'll see what happens.
Yikes.
Yeah. If it goes downhill for Boxer, just keep an eye on the likes of an Andrew team and what he ends up doing over the next month or two, because he's like one of their biggest stars. I wouldn't be entirely shocked if they can't get like a TV thing sorted out and like DAZN or whatever, if some of their bigger names like go elsewhere to like match with Queensbury.
Well,
They'd have to work on their matchmaking, but maybe they could join Pro Box. I'm not even joking.
No, because ProBox does have a UK arm.
They work with what's his name in Ireland. Yeah.
Conlon Promo.
But Boxer cards are usually too one-sided. Like they want them to change the matchmaking to match Pro Box's vision.
This card, Simpson had a tough fight and Jeff has lost, but like they were both massive favorites coming in. Like Jeff was losing is literally a massive upset. He was basically just taking this fight, waiting for the Simpson fight, because that's what they were talking about. But now that he lost, it kind of fucked that up.
Nice.
Okay, from the UK, we are off to Top Rank on ESPN.
That's
Obviously,
correct. Oof.
Keyshawn kind of did a fuck up, but we still had Mason, so there was a...
Before we get to the Keyshawn drama, I want to go through what the rest of the card. Keon Davis got a dub over Michael Velez. Who is that? They're both 3-0 coming into it, so I'm like, eh. whatever. They're still developing. Troy Isley, UD over Atundi Michelle William. William in the singular as a surname. That's fun.
I don't know why. I just thought that was funny.
I found that funny when I was watching it. So, Troy Isley, like what? The reach. Atundi had a fucking massive reach advantage, and Troy Isley struggled with it in the first half of the fight. So, he kind of looked like ass. But I still believe I'm still on the what does he call himself? The Transformer?
Yeah.
Fucking Autobots roll out, baby. I'm still with you, Troy.
Does he walk out to the 80s, 90s cartoon theme?
I don't know. I don't think so. It would be.
He should.
He should.
That's
yeah.
a banger song. Robots in disguise.
Speaking of bangers, the Here All Right. Majority decision over Kelvin Davis. Speaking of bangers, that's a little bit of foreshadowing. Nahir was better. Kelvin had no adjustments or answers for what Nahir brought to the table. And fucking what's his name? Bomac. He kind of gave up on coaching pretty early and just went straight to the motivational talk.
Which is a little weird for Bomac. I wonder if that means that Kelvin Davis isn't very coachable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not very good.
Well, there's that too. But I was trying to be more...
Personality?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, we know for sure that there's some personality issues with
Kelvin Davis. Kelvin Davis did not do anything.
He was not involved.
I don't. It wasn't.
To be fair, no, he wasn't in on any of the bullshit, as far as I can tell.
As far as we know, yeah, Kelvin Davis was not involved. He was just the catalyst.
Yep.
Abdullah,
I guess so.
Abdullah Mason retires. Jeremiah Nakatila. God, I keep fucking that one up. Young man continues to impress.
Mason looked really good, like we expected. I mean,
yeah, his opponent sucked.
Nakatila's not the worst opponent. This was a decent step up. But he's not great. Let's not pretend he's something he isn't. But wasn't terrible.
He looked very limited in this fight. Mason just completely destroyed him for a couple of rounds, and that's what this was.
Yeah.
But I think part of that is just that Mason's that good. Like,
I mean, I already said before, Nakatilia got stopped in 2 rounds by Muratella and Mercado. So he's not like some high-level genius who's like a dark horse at 135.
No, but that's not what this was supposed to be.
I mean, he got a few rounds in. That was about it.
It's a systematic breakdown from Mason.
Basically. And now he's apparently going to fight Sam Noakes next. So whenever we do the podcast after that fight, I may or may not mysteriously disappear.
You're not going to disappear. It'll be fine. You'll be a bittersweet celebration of Mason.
Because I like Mason, but it's like, why does it have to be Noakes of all people that he's fighting for a world title? Like, why?
Yeah, why does his like title ascension have to come at the expense of Sam Noakes?
Exactly. I want them both to do well.
I mean, just be happy that Sam Noakes gets to fight for a title.
Yay. I mean, he's going to leave that fight probably completely fucked, but
I don't think Mason's one that really damages people, is he?
We'll see.
No, he's a breakdown over time.
Yeah, he's more of a schooling than a beating.
Yes.
Speaking, do we have anything else to say on this?
No notes. Abdullah Mason looked awesome. Cool. I am a fucking Glazer, so full disclosure there, but no notes. Mason looked fucking awesome. I'm really excited to see see him in a title shot.
Well, we were talking about beating, so I feel like now is a good time to segue onto the last recent shit, which was the Nakatani Nishida fight.
Are we not going to talk about the beating that got put onto Nahir Albright behind the curtains?
Because
Well,
that was
that's
fucking ridiculous.
That was
Yeah, we can do that stuff. I was looking
a
at
little bit of the drama.
Not like Keyshawn
So-
who started it or something.
It was.
Well, Keon and Keyshawn went to the locker room, and I think it's pretty common for guys to go to the locker room and be like, good fight, like, whatever, sportsman-like. And that's what Albright thought was happening. So he went out to, like, talk to them and be like, yeah, you know, sorry for beating your brother, but no hard feelings type thing.
Yeah.
And they fucking headbutted him. I hadn't seen the cut, but he hit, I'm not sure which Davis brother, headbutted him and cut his forehead open.
Yeah, because when he
And-
came on the interview, he had that big, like, fucking bow on his head, wasn't
he
it?
had
Or
a big
something like
knot.
that.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
cut open. Looked like they had it under
And-
control.
Outside of the ring, that's just straight up assault. And I did
Yes.
see that the cops took the Davis brothers away. I haven't heard if they've been charged with anything or anything else, but the cops were involved. And that's just straight up illegal, like, assault. And I saw a bunch of people online being like, oh, Albright's such a pussy, like, tattling to the cops, and you don't bring cops into a fight and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's just stupid. That is a stupid response. Like,
Who's been saying this? Because, like, anything I've seen relating to this is just people calling Keyshawn a fucking moron, so...
Yeah, that's all I have been seeing as well. I'm not surprised to hear that there's people that like, oh, he's what a fucking crybaby, pulling the police into it. Like dog, that headbutt and that cut could cost him like his next fight because he has to let that heal up now. So
yeah.
Yeah, on the topic of pay as well, apparently Top Rank paid him like 50%, or they paid what was his name, De Los Santos, like 50% of his purse for this fight, when apparently they weren't even obligated to.
yeah,
So,
that was really
that-
cool of them.
Yeah,
Not something
yeah.
you'd expect from huge.
I mean they
corporation.
probably realized what a complete PR mess this all was and just paid De Los Santos some money because they wanted to at least kind of come out of it looking good.
I thought I had heard that they paid him his full purse.
I had
No.
heard full purse as well, but
Yeah, I'd heard full purse, and then it came out that they paid like 50% when they apparently legally didn't even have to pay him anything. so-
50% for being a fucking
Yeah,
professional, I guess.
It was like, I think it was like
Well-
175k or something like that. I don't recall the exact number.
A nice day at the office.
it's not exactly doing nothing though.
Yeah,
Like,
that's why
he did-
he was a professional about the fight. He showed up
And he still
did the
has to
work.
pay all those people from his camp.
True.
Like
Yeah.
that might be
like
why.
they still put in months of work.
Man, Keyshawn. I was on the hype train, but after this
The train has derailed.
No, the
hard.
train hasn't just derailed. It's derailed and then fucking flipped into the ocean.
yeah, fell off a cliff into the fucking ocean.
Yes. It
And then
hasn't
somehow
just
lit on
derailed.
fire underwater.
I don't know what Keyshawn's doing. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know how like... To be fair, I already know for a fact he'll come back after, like, a year out, win, like, 1 or 2 fights, and everyone will just forget this even happened, but... Whatever.
I fully buy into Alex's conspiracy theory that this is all him hanging out with Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, and-
Floyd Mayweather getting in his head, like, you're too good for this, and you can blow weight, and they'll still fight you anyways, and
A-side stuff.
Oh, no.
yeah. Especially when he starts talking about how the belts don't matter, and it's all about the money. That's just Floyd.
Yeah, the way we had discussed it was like they might be symbolic. Once you reach a certain level, they become symbolic, but you're not at that level, Keyshawn. You're not.
No, he needs the belt.
You
still.
need the belts to bolster your resume so that you can elevate to the point where you can say, I don't give a shit what belt I'm holding, if I'm even holding one.
I've said it before. A bunch of these guys are trying to be Money Mayweather without ever being Pretty Boy Floyd. Like, you can't do it. It's not how it works.
Yeah.
You have to earn your bullshit.
And Keyshawn's best win was Dennis Babinchik. Like,
Not a great one.
yeah.
Anyways, speaking of
What weight class is this?
135.
Keyshawn,
Okay.
135, yeah.
I was trying to segue into something I noticed while I was looking and it didn't work. But anyways, Kenichi Ogawa is now ranked number 2 with the WBO at 130. He's in line for a Navarrete title shot, which is fucking madness. I would love that.
Yeah. I wonder if they would do that in Japan.
It'd be pretty cool. I would go. I'm sorry, total non sequitur.
Perfect.
But...
Because speaking of Japan, on the 8th, Taken Promotions. I only have 2 listed here. Shinada, did you have a third that was worth paying attention to?
Well, the Riku Masuda knockout takes 0 time to watch and it's super fun. You were watching this card, Lynn. I
Yes.
think it might be the first punch that landed was the knockout punch.
Something like that.
Ouch.
Like, yeah, it was crazy. The funniest part of that fight was like the dude he was fighting came out of like some dance. I think it was like a sample or something like that, and then got
Yeah, I
fucking
think
slept in about a minute.
It was pretty funny. So just for the memes, that one's worth a rewatch. And then that old debutante that I like, Tomoya Suboi, he was on this card as well. He beat up a guy from Vietnam for 10 rounds.
Ouch.
I will say this one makes me wonder if maybe he doesn't have any power. Because he did try for the knockout about 3 different times. Like, he really pushed for it, and the guy just absorbed it. But it was a clean sweep, like 10 rounds to none. I think maybe one judge gave Van Tao Tran 1 round, I think. So, pretty dominant performance again. And, I mean, it's his second fight, so... His second fight's 10 rounds against a guy who's 18-1. And then that's the only 2 from the undercard that I think are worth mentioning. And then we have Tenshin Nashikawa versus Victor Santillan.
Yes.
Tenshin won on the cards.
Some question marks came up here. He's my favorite fuckboy of all time.
Fucking hate him.
I know. But what I noticed here was Tenshin had it figured out pretty quickly. He has solid ring IQ. But for how quickly he had this figured out, for how much he was able to land on Santillan, he did not seem to be bothering Santillan all that much.
No, Santillan never looked hurt.
Yeah.
And I do think Tenshin tried for the knockout a couple times.
Yeah, he did.
And Santillan cut him. Like, it's not like Tenshin wasn't taking any damage. And there are also people in Japan who hate him as much as I do, because I was getting some hate chanting going on for Victor Santillan. Not really chanting, but like people cheering for Santillan. And I was like, yes. It was fucking awesome. They were nowhere close to me, or I would have went and tried to buy them a beer somewhere. So. Yeah, I don't know. Tenshin looked like Tenshin.
Yeah.
I do think once he steps up and fights anybody who's good, he's
Toast.
He's gonna have trouble. I hate him, so I keep saying he's gonna lose to everyone. But
lack of power is a problem, because like Yoshiki Takei How the fuck does he have it? I don't know. But he has power for 118. Big time.
And Takei will land on Tension. Tension's defense is not that good.
Yeah, he relies on his athleticism a little too much.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope they step up Tension, and I hope he gets knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, let's keep it moving, though, just so we don't
Yeah.
get your blood pressure up too badly. Junto Nakatani, Ryosuke Nishida retires, medically retired. What was it? They didn't say it was because of this, but he had his shoulder popped out.
Yeah. His shoulder dislocated at the beginning of round 6. I watched it back on the broadcast, and I think you can see when it happens. It went back into place, mostly, and he's using that arm, but you could see it pop when Junto had him in, like, a weird lock and kind of spun him.
Yeah, I know. I remember exactly what moment you're talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, man, Junto, like, what are you doing, dude? This isn't you.
I said it on the other podcast, and I like Junto, so I don't want to rag on him too much, but I was disappointed with how dirty he was fighting.
Yeah.
This is the first kind of tough fight he's had in a while, and he didn't react to it the way I wanted him to. There was a lot of weird, like, wrestly throwing stuff, and at one point he punched Nishida when his knee was down. Not super hard, like, it wasn't super blatant, but I don't know. Nakatani was better. Like, definitely Nakatani was winning. But that head clash really kind of fucked over Nishida as well.
Is that how the eye got so shitty? Was from a headbutt?
Yeah, it wasn't on the broadcast as far as I can tell. They switched to commercials, but in the arena between rounds, they announced that there was an accidental head clash on the loudspeaker. And then it was the next round that his eye really started to swell shut. So I think by the rules, that eye swelling shut was a accidental head clash. So I was a little disappointed they didn't take it to the cards and give Nakatani the win that way and let Nishida have the moral victory of not quitting. But
yeah,
because that eye was fucked.
It was,
that eye was completely closed.
Like it's just a kind of like semantics. All the ref for the ref to say, "I am calling the fight because of that eye," versus the corner saying, "This eye is too bad. We cannot continue."
Yeah, I mean, it's really not any difference, but it makes a difference to me.
No, it
I don't
makes
know.
a difference on Nishida's resume, like for it to be like stopped. Referee stops it on a bad eye swelling, so we go to the scorecards, versus TKO or doctor stoppage.
Yeah, so I don't know. Overall, like, Nakatani looked good, but I do think the Southpaw versus Southpaw was a factor, like I said it was going to be. I don't think Nakatani's super good against Southpaws, and I think Nishida did better than people thought he would. So, overall, it was a fun fight, though. I really enjoyed the whole night. The only thing that was fucking stupid is that arena doesn't have a concession stand of any kind. It's absolutely ridiculous. I had to go to a convenience store to buy snacks and drinks.
At this point, you should just bet on bringing them yourself every
I
time
guess.
you go.
I still have that, like, feeling that I'm doing something wrong, and I don't really like it.
Yeah.
Because technically I didn't check this website, but a lot of the websites do say no outside food and drink. They just don't enforce it at all. Like, Ariaka Arena says no outside food and drink, but people walk in with 7-Eleven bags just stuffed full of stuff. Like... So I don't know. But yeah, I should just start bringing at least 2 drinks. Because sitting there the whole night yelling with nothing to drink is...
That's rough.
And the crowd was actually pretty loud. There was a lot of... You could tell Osaka was in town. There was a lot of bright Hawaiian t-shirts, a lot of dyed hair, a lot of chants. It was fun. It's a good night.
A lot of hooligans.
Hmm.
Good stuff.
I like the hooligans. I was in the Tokyo section though. Everyone around me was kind of boring. And I bought a Nishida shirt. The
You're a
only
super fan?
person I don't the only person I don't have a shirt from that I wish I did is Ioka. But when I went last time they sold out. Or they sold out of my size. I could have bought one that doesn't fit, but that's no fun.
Anything more for Taken? Well, a few notes before we take a short break. Wherever you're listening, hit the follow button. Hit the rating button. You know you want to throw 5 stars on this bitch. You already know you do. So go ahead and do it. Not that you need my permission, but fucking go on. Let's see. The shop.lvx.be stuff goes up, periodically. So go check it out. See if you like something. If you want a discount code, go to Patreon and sign up over there. And subscribers on Patreon get a 20% off code every month for the shop. So that's fun. Oh, new ad sponsor. I'm actually kind of excited about this one. So enjoy that. Support for this episode is from Ramen Bay. You love ramen, but wish it had more, fresh toppings that take it from good to epic. But who has time for all that chopping and shit? Well, get ready to level up your noodle game with Ramen Bay. It's the ultimate topper that brings big flavor and incredible texture right into your bowl in seconds. Imagine perfectly seasoned beef or seafood, vibrant vegetables, or savory mushrooms, all freeze-dried to lock in peak freshness and flavor. Just sprinkle as much Ramen Bay as your heart desires as you're boiling up your hot ramen, stir, and watch it transform. In today's connected world, your digital life is always on. You shop, you bank, you connect with friends and family. All of this happens online. But with every download, every click, there lurks a hidden danger: viruses and other cyber threats. One wrong move and your personal data, your photos, even your identity could be at risk. And that's a scary thought. You need more than just hope or vibes. You need proven protection. Support for this episode is from Malwarebytes. It's your digital shield, constantly detecting, blocking, and eliminating the nastiest shit that you can find online. Think of it as your personal cyber guardian, always on watch so that you don't have to be. With Malwarebytes, you can browse, bank, enjoy your online life with confidence. No more worrying about malware, phishing scams, ransomware, or any of that other nasty shit. Enjoy secure access to what matters most to you. Protect your digital world, protect your peace of mind. Take Malwarebytes for a trial run today. Go to lvx.be/MWB and invest in your online security today. What if a small natural step could make a profound difference in your daily well-being? Many of us grapple with everyday stress, looking for natural ways to support our mood, our mental resilience, and our overall vitality. The answer might lie in nature's wisdom. Support for this episode is from psilocybin, a powerful psilocybin mushroom in a convenient microdosing capsule. Revered in traditional practices, psilocybin is gaining recognition for its remarkable benefits in mental health. With psilocybin, you're choosing a natural path to holistic wellness. I feel it's incredibly important to say that this isn't a substitute for professional medical advice, it's just a really good supplement. Of the 3 blends, I've tried the Inner Peace blend, and I can tell you from the beginning I felt a greater sense of calm and mental clarity. I've been juggling with some unfortunate stressors, and I've been doing it with a lot more resilience. But psilocybin is more than just a supplement, it's a step towards a more harmonious you. If you want to have a look at what psilocybin has to offer, go to lvx.be/psilocybin, that's SOULCYBIN, and use the code LuxMedia to get yourself a nice discount. Help us out a little bit in the process. Take the first step towards inner peace and clarity. Nurture your nature with nature. lvx.be/psilocybin. Use code LuxMedia. Pop quiz hotshot. What's tiny, fuzzy, and responsible for a large portion of the food we eat? If you guessed bees, well, you nailed it. Seriously, 1 out of every 3 bites on your plate depends on bees. So there's a bit of bad news here. These little heroes of our gardens and dinners are struggling. Between habitat loss, climate change, and pesticides, it's a fucking bummer. Without them, our world would look a lot different and it would be a lot less delicious. But there is good news. Support for this episode is from Project Honeybees. So when you pick out something nice for someone special, or just something nice for yourself, your purchase adopts a queen bee that you get to name and get to watch over, and you'll support the protection of these extraordinary little creatures. Ready to make a statement and a difference? Go to lvx.be/bees and start browsing for your next gift. Your next favorite accessory can also be a lifeline for our buzzing buddies. Project Honeybees. Get yourself a nice little discount, help us out a little bit in the process, and help save the fucking world. lvx.be/bees. Use code LEO33862. Buzz, motherfucker.
I saw the announcement of the new ad sponsor. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, it is. I actually, let me finish off my container here. Meant to take those before we started. What I forgot. It's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, I've never tried
Really
mushrooms.
subtle. Coming up on the 19th, we will not have anyone in the building for this one. Brian Norman versus Jin Sasaki. Looking down the card, I don't see anybody that I recognize. Just the main event.
I recognize a couple names, but there's nobody worth worrying about.
Yeah.
Like, I recognize a couple of the B-sides as people that they bring in to fight prospects.
Rei Abe. I think I recognize that name.
Yeah. But, main event, Brian Norman Jr. versus Jin Sasaki.
I think it's cool that Brian's going to Japan for this one.
I think it's kind of random, but I like it. And it'll probably get him some international fans.
I hope so.
The Japanese crowd will cheer for people that come to Japan. Like, when they go back home. A bunch of the guys at the bar still talk about Ola Squaga and Leo. Like, they are now fans of them just because they came to Japan.
Yeah, if I had to stay up or like wake up at the ass crack of dawn to catch fights, I would be really grateful to anybody who flew over.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I do think this doesn't go well for Jin Sasaki.
I don't either.
But, you know, stranger things have happened, I guess. But, yeah, I would put my money on Brian Norman for sure.
Yeah.
Probably by KO. I'm leaning.
Moving to Golden Boy on DAZN. This is Friday, June 20th. Fucking... I don't know who these people are.
I don't recognize anyone.
So
I don't recognize anyone. Why is this on here?
just because it's boxing and it's the only card that's happening on that day. So just, if you're really fucking fiending, you need boxing in your life, here you go. But
Sometimes these Golden Boy ones do have bangers as well. Every once in a while, there's a war on these prospect cards. But usually it's one-sided knockouts.
There is one guy I recognize on this card. Not because he's good. Laval Wellington.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah, he fought on
He was the dude that lost Rito. He was the guy that fought Rito in Rito's debut.
That's right.
Took him the distance. So.
Yeah, he took that hot Japanese prospect on the Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves bullshit.
Yeah, that was on the New York card.
Yes.
But yeah,
Times
that's
Square.
the only name I recognize, and it's only because of that. So.
So let's keep it going. Baja Boxing in Tijuana. Why is this here? Jojo Diaz is still fighting.
Oh my god.
Why is he still fighting? Yes.
Oh my
But
God.
I just really wanted to point him out just because he's a name that people will recognize. He's recent enough, and he's enough
He's
of a
got
fuck up.
he's got 3 losses in a row. Like, he lost on Pro Box. Dude, if you can't win on Pro Box, just stop.
He's lost 6 of his last 7. I don't know what the point is anymore, but sure.
Well, Pro Box was part of his rehab. 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Getting him on that Pro Box card was part of his rehab with the program they have there. But now maybe that's all this is. He's busy trying to box. He doesn't do as many drugs. Maybe. Stops touching 14-year-olds.
Hey, she was 15, all right?
No, that's not all right.
I know. Definitely not. Fucking Jojo Diddler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, enough of his fucking ass, but there you go. 360 promotions. The only one I recognize is Callum Walsh. Lynn, do you know who this is?
He's fighting?
Yeah.
I know he's fighting? Oh, damn. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, because I watched his last fight, which was against some absolute bum from Scotland that he won in a round. So I was like, okay, he may have something. So I didn't see he was fighting, but sure.
Yep, he's pretty much it from this card.
Jesus Christ, that guy is bowing. What the hell?
It's a bad. It's we're in dire straits here.
I know about Jonathan Inez because he's kind of a journeyman who goes around and fights people, but that's the only other name on that card I recognize.
Let's go to Matchroom, also on the 21st. Galalia
In the
5
UK.
versus Francisco
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Now, there's actually a couple of fights on this card. Now, we have got a
School me
couple
up.
of prospects. Pat Brown, former amateur. It's
that's
like
right.
they say he's an Olympian, but he lost the preliminary, so I'm not entirely sure how that counts as an Olympian, but I guess because he technically fought for a preliminary to the Olympics, it somehow counts.
He made the team.
Couple of other prospects. That's about it. And then Peter McGrail is on this card. He was scheduled to fight Shabazz Massoud, but Massoud pulled out with an injury. So now, if you guys know the British domestic scene, his short notice, well, I don't know how short notice it is, I think it's like a couple of weeks, is now Iona Baluta. If you know, you know. This guy has fought like fucking everyone, it feels like, in this country. And I swear to God, the only time he lost a fight one-sidedly was when he fought Dennis McCann. And then, it was after that fight that McCann was then going to fight McGrail and then tested positive, and I haven't heard anything on that. So you might even put an asterisk in that fight with what McCann was almost definitely on for that fight. So that should be a really good test for McGrail. Because, Baluta always gets in fun fights, and I swear to God, he always comes in and does his job well as a B-side. Conor
He
Walker...
beat TJ Doheny, according to BoxRec.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at BoxRec, and you can look at the days that he's been in the ring with, and, what his result against them has been. This guy is, no pushover despite his record.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Conor Walker defends his British welterweight title against Liam Taylor. Now, we want to discuss Fabio Wardley just finally knocking a guy out after getting pieced up for the entire fight. This guy basically did the same thing to Harry Scarf. He went down 10-0 in that fight and then stopped him in the 11th.
Well done.
Yep. He's now fighting a dude called Liam Taylor, who I wasn't too familiar with. He got stopped in 2 rounds by Avedisian back in 2021. He was actually on a card back in March. He was on some YouTube prelims for a Matchroom card to set this fight off, and he won on points. I would expect Walker to win this fight, but it's a British title, anything can happen. And then the main event is Galaria 5 versus Francisco Rodriguez Jr. Now, the first immediate point to raise, this is a Brit versus a Mexican. We do have to consider this going into this fight, because on paper, this should be a relatively easy... I don't know how easy, because Shinara would know more about the 115 dudes. But on paper, a your fight should win this fight. But he's also fighting a Mexican, so we'll see how much that evens us out. I don't know if Shinata knows much on Rodriguez Jr.
And a Mexican that's only lost to Ioka and Nakatani in the last 5 years. So, I mean, he hasn't been losing to bums.
This is a hard test for Galal.
Yeah. I also fucking hate the Yafais, so I'm gonna put money on Rodriguez. I assume he's an underdog.
I can check the British bookie I have to get the odds on this. Hang on. Well, I've done one. If not, I know.
I use some really sketchy thing based out of Madagascar. My odds are gonna be different anyways.
Okay, well, hang on. Well, on the UK site, I have Galal fight 2-5 favorite, Francisco Rodriguez Jr. 11-5.
Yeah, I'm
so
gonna
he's
put
a
money
slight
on.
underdog, but not that crazy.
Still, I'm gonna put some money on Rodriguez. I think he's gonna knock out Yafai.
I mean, he's Mexican, so I wouldn't say no. I mean, if there's one weakness we have, it seems to be the bloody Mexicans. So, sure. This is for the WBC interim flyweight title. I don't know who the WBC flyweight title holder is. Shidar would know, but yeah.
I think it was Taraji.
What weight class? 115?
112.
115.
It's 112. This is
No,
flyweight.
Oh, this is 112? Okay, 112.
Superfly is
So I
115.
looked at the record, I saw Rodriguez was at 115, so I thought it was at 115.
You said WBO?
C.
W-
That's
WBC.
Princess. Oh, WBC is Taraji. Yep.
Okay.
Well, Yafai's the interim right now.
Yeah. He picked up that belt when he beat Sonny, so...
On DraftKings, Galal Yafai's minus 300, and Rodriguez is plus 230.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
Yep.
not that wide.
I'm gonna put a cheeseburger bet on Rodriguez. A cheeseburger, not just a hamburger.
Yeah. All the trimmings, avocado,
Yeah. No, that shit's gross.
hipster baby food.
I really don't like avocados. Guacamole's good, but like just an avocado,
Plain avocado, yeah.
it's tasteless. Just tastes like you put oil in your mouth.
Speaking of oil, in Newark, New Jersey. There's oil refineries there.
Oh.
It's a long ass card, and like fucking nobody on it is really noteworthy.
Brandon Lee is on it.
There's really nobody, but there's Brandon Lee, which is excellent. I'm really happy to see him fighting still. There's a heavyweight fight at the top.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Whatever. Jahai Tucker is one of Top Rank's prospects at middleweight versus Lorenzo Simpson. And
But yeah, I was gonna say Damian Nieper I recognize because I looked it up. I thought it was this. He's trained by the same dude who trains Zhang. So we'll see how he
interesting.
looks. Yeah, because I remember I thought I saw before like Zhang had mentioned he would like there was some mention, but yeah, same camp. No idea who he is in terms of a boxer, but hey, I guess we get an opportunity to find out.
Well, and that's Polish versus Polish. So
Yes.
I'm kind of just expecting a heavyweight slugfest, to be honest.
Well,
I do not
looked at-
expect either of these guys to know how to box.
Well, I just looked at his opponent's box rec. His last fight was in September 2022, and it was a split decision draw against a past his prime Kamil Sokolowski. So we will see what we're in for with this fight.
Yeah, I'm just expecting zero boxing and just fucking haymakers from both of these guys.
I mean, that's usually how low-level heavyweight goes, yes.
and then they gas out. And then
After
lay on
like
each
2
other.
rounds, and the rest of
Yep.
the fight is just a hog fest, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Anyways, 2 giant Polish guys fighting, so I'll feel like I'm back at home and there's a bar fight. Be great.
Also, yeah, we got Malnicki on this card.
Yeah.
He's fighting a Pole.
The headline is Vito Melnicki. So that's a fight.
I mean, yeah, I saw Malnicki in his last fight. I thought he beat Coyle. That fight got ruled a majority draw. He's now fighting some unnamed Polish fighter, so we'll see. I mean, he's only 23, so he can still improve, but we'll see. I mean, 23 in boxing is nothing. Like,
Yeah, he's still.
Yeah, especially not in the big weight classes.
yeah, he fights at middleweight, which is weak as is anyway. So
I have never noticed Malnicki's nickname on BoxRec, I don't think.
Is it white
Yeah.
chocolate?
White Magic.
Oh,
Junior Malnicki does not deserve White Magic. That's too cool of a nickname.
I mean,
fine.
hey, maybe he'll style his opponent. We'll see.
He's fine, but that's a cool nickname.
Yeah. Brandon Lee is also on this card.
yep.
Yeah. I'm
He-
excited.
I mean, I remember he came over to the UK for one fight with Queensbury, and he didn't look particularly special against some Colombian no-name fighter. I don't know what he's doing with his career, but yeah, he's on this card. He exists.
I'm happy to see him.
Yeah, I think that's about it for that card.
That's it.
It's not a super good weekend.
It's not.
Better than last week.
I would say last week is better.
About the... Yeah.
A little better.
Oh,
Tiny bit.
about the same.
Yeah.
Better, worse, or about the same? I need to get my eyes checked.
Oh, anything more for the previews?
No. This is kind of a sad week.
Yeah. Like in the recaps, we went about an hour. And we got all this shit done in like 10 minutes.
Sorry, Leo.
Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, it's fine. It's all good. Let me see.
We were faster this week.
Yeah, absolutely. By a lot. Let me... You've been listening to Boxing Before Dark, a Lux Media production. If you are just dying to tell us how fucking casual you think we are, you can be a duck. You can text our anonymous line, 833-589-7637. If you want to stand on your business, call, leave a voice message, or send a voice note in WhatsApp. And if you're entertaining enough, you might make the final cut of the show. 833-LUX-PODS. If you prefer to hit us up on social media, the account name is LVXMediaNet, all one word. It's the same on YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky, and all the rest of that shit. If you can't find us, chances are we're not on it. If you want to get yourself hooked up with the ad-free versions of the episodes and help us out a little bit in the process, look us up on Patreon, LVXMediaNet. It's over there just like everywhere else. Even if you don't sign up on Patreon, you can still help us out by checking out our ad sponsors. You can also help by giving us a rating and a review on whatever app you're listening on. And don't forget, shop.lvx.be if you want to snag some threads. Intro and outro music by Middle of Nowhere Beats, and for more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lvxmedia.net. That is where the outro stuff goes. Alright, so, given the nature of the boxing this weekend, what else are you going to do since it's a free weekend? You don't have to really watch any of these. Parting words.
I've got 3 animes I gotta catch up on. So that's my weekend. Anime, a little bit of work, and a tiny bit of boxing. The 3 fights I want to watch.
Yeah, it's really just Brian Norman.
Yeah, I'll watch Brandon Lee too. And there was a different one somewhere. No, that's it. It's a really bad weekend. My parting words this week are everybody should keep an eye on the lvxmedia.net website for the top 10 lists that will be coming out. They'll all be put in the written part, and then I think I'm going to end up reading them to be put up in the YouTube shorts, maybe, unless other people want to read their own. But I'm excited about this. I think it's a fun project.
Lynn, you got anything?
Not overly. Apart from the first bit, if Rodriguez beats your fight, I think we should just start a petition to ban all Mexicans from entering the UK. But yeah,
I think that has been floated before. I know it's been discussed.
Yeah, Starboy, I've got the new foreign policy for you.
Having a boxing license stops you from entering the UK if you're Mexican.
Exactly.
It's in the immigration papers.
Exactly. Get that sorted.
Well, if that's it, then that's it for this edition of Boxing Before Dark. Go do something else this weekend.
Touch grass.
Yeah, go outside. Get fresh air in your lungs. All right, we're out of here.
Bye.
Good.